Welcome to Caliban Command. Today we're going to cover the first of our kitbashing videos. I was a little perturbed when I saw the datasheets for Space Marines Codex. We need a Primaris captain that has a power fist and a plasma pistol to accompany Hellblasters, which is not necessarily the most easy to find thing. It doesn't help that there is not a captain kit that allows for it, so I thought, let's build one. Now, I'm going to take the Indomitus captain here, and I have not assembled this guy or painted him yet, so he is a good example of a starting point. We're going to take his body and his helmet, and that's really all that we're going to use from this model. I am super excited to be working on this project because I am not a fan of everything that GW does when it comes to kit loadouts. Now, this model is one that I've been holding off on doing for myself because I thought I might do the channel one day, and I thought this would be a good video early on. Now, we're going to push fit everything on this stage to get it nice and set up first before we do any gluing, but we are going to eventually take it back off and glue it here in a minute. Now, I just want to make sure that everything fits correctly with what I'm wanting before I get that far along. Now, I am not happy with how that's fitting. I don't know why. And I think it's because it just doesn't look neat. Okay, that's fine. That can go away now, and we don't have to worry about it. I'm not going to use that piece, and I will instead find a way to mask that hole on it. That's not an issue. I'm going to get the head real quick, and we'll get it slotted on next. Now I'm going to clean up, and we're going to put him in. This time we are going to glue. Now, I don't always use this particular glue because sometimes it gives me grief like it's giving me right now. That's okay. It's good for, in my opinion, kit bashing content because it will actually help adhere the models together as well as lightly melt some of the plastic to make a more solid cohesion later on. It takes a little bit longer to set up, but I'm happy with the results typically. Now, next, I wanted these two little winged pieces that you're going to see here from the Deathwing Command Squad kit. This might seem a little strange, but I think they'll make it look really stand out once he's done. It's a common Dark Angels kit bash piece to need. So, we're going to see what we can do with it on this particular kit. Clean that up a little. Okay. Now, as for his backpack, I think we are going to actually use the captain backpack from this. Obviously, we're going to use his base. And we'll go ahead and use his Necron here. Now, the Necron's going to get adhered. as will our captain's body. Now, the main reason I'm using the base here, well, sometimes you have errors. That happens. The main reason I wanted to use the base here is just the fact that sanding those pegs off is always a bit of a pain. Now we'll get our Necron down there, and he'll be a nice addition to the base. Now, to cover that little spot on his chest, we have a couple different options on how we could go. But I think the cleanest option actually comes from the same source as our Power Fist in this situation, which is going to come from the Assault Intercessor kit. Now, you could also acquire one from the same kit as Master Lazarus if you wanted, and wanted the iconography that comes with it. I personally am a fan of that solution, but I do not have leftover parts from him. We're going to get the Power Fist assembled real quick and get that looking nice and neat. Now, don't do what I'm doing right now and cut towards your fingertips. Bad practice. Do as I say, not as I do, to any new people. I just have very poor knife control sometimes, and, well, I'd rather stab myself than gouge into the plastic sometimes. It's not a great practice, and I don't recommend it. Now, we're going to get the fingers attached. And that'll have to cure for a little while. Now, before we attach anything else to this model, we're going to cut those two posts off. We are not going to need them in any way, shape, or form for this build. Now, I'm going to take the X-Acto knife and we're going to clean up a little. And once we get that into place, about there, I don't think it's going to be terribly noticeable that we had used a different tilt plate. But I am going to try that tilt plate one more time to determine why it's not fitting. We will stick with the stock tilt plate after all. I got it to fit relatively well. I wish I'd gotten some glue in there, but that's always wishing something, it seems. Now, from there, I'm going to figure out how to attach these in such a way that I'm content with them, without going absolutely ludicrous. And I actually think that's the route I'm going to go. Okay. Now that I have that figured out, we are going to play with some glue. Okay. Now, due to how long the glue was taking to set, I went and got a different glue, and we're going to use it real quick. I'm not usually as big a fan, because I oftentimes have control issues with it. But this time it has not betrayed me. Now, with this glue, I always wipe the cap off after each use because it likes to pull extra glue, and then I end up with a glue bottle I can't open. From there, we're going to adhere the backpack. This other glue that I used is one that I pick up at Hobbytown, but I've seen it at other hobby stores too, and it is Maxicure. This is Tester's non-toxic plastic cement, and I get really good mileage out of it typically. Much happier with it as a general rule. Now, we have the majority of our model there. What we are missing is a plasma pistol, which we have right here, and a suitable right-hand shoulder pad for him. Now, I'm going to go with one of the ridged shoulder pads from the Intercessor kit. It's not my first choice necessarily, but it's not a bad one either. There we go. We have one arm ready to go on. Here we have arm 2 about to get its glue. I'm being really delicate here because of the fact that I don't want to mess up the fingers on this on the power fist, and this glue does take a little bit to cure. So, from there we're going to swap back to the Max Cure. We're going to put a little bit there. That thing I didn't want to do to the arm is what I just did to the arm. Now, I want that pose. You tighten the hand back up. Now this Max Cure does set faster, but it is still setting very slow for my liking. There is an accelerant that you can use, but I typically don't find the need for it. But today is not a typical day, apparently. But we'll get this arm. posed like so. Now, later on in the channel, we're going to come back and paint this guy, and I'm looking forward to it now. This wasn't a super quick process, but it wasn't a long kit bash either. It's mostly part swaps from other kits, so I hesitate to call it a true kit bashing video. But I'm excited to see what you guys think of it, and I hope that you enjoyed the video and got some helpful information out of it. You guys have a wonderful day. Like, comment, and subscribe if you can. I would appreciate it very much. I'm trying to grow the channel, and I'm starting to plan out some goals for the channel. The first one's going to be at 50, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I think I'm going to do a couple more kit bashing videos between now and then, and if we hit 50, I'm going to do something special for the channel as a whole, and I think it's going to be something fairly large. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Bye. We're going to talk about Hobbytown now. They are the sponsors of our channel currently, and they have a phenomenal array of painting tools. They have paints, they have models, they have everything that you could possibly need. Not to mention, their staff have always been super knowledgeable about anything that I've picked up there. They've made some recommendations for how I could improve my hobby flow. They've gone through the effort of helping me find a starting point in 40k in a faction that I love. I've played Dark Angels now for years, and that's largely thanks to them helping me figure out what faction fit me the best. The series as a whole has been a blast to work with them on. They've helped me find stuff for Age of Sigmar that I enjoy. They've ordered stuff in that I haven't had access to before. They've helped me find paint alternatives when they didn't have a Citadel paint that I needed. They've helped me find new board games to play. It has genuinely just been a really helpful crew to work with. They stock Army Painter, GW, Testers, Tamiya. They have Mission Models paints, which I got the pleasure of trying out recently and had a really great time with. They stock Gundam kits, anime kits of various types. They have the Vallejo paint line, which I use a lot when I do Gunpla to just really bring out some neat color combinations with. They have all kinds of fun in there, and I genuinely cannot recommend the store enough. I hope you guys check them out. Even if you can't find a local branch, I hope you check out their online store at hobbytown.com.